Picture this. You're minding your own business on the family ranch your granddad clawed out of the Arizona dirt after the war, chickens clucking like they own the place, when a perfectly manicured HOA president storms your gate screaming, she's calling the cops on your dangerous wife. Yeah. This Karen had no clue the woman she just threatened was about to become the one slapping cuffs on her empire of fake rules and real greed. The sun was barely painting the Prescott Valley foothills gold when I stepped out at 5:30 a.m., coffee in one hand, feed bucket in the other. Crestview Homestead, 25 stubborn acres of scrub oak, heritage tomatoes, and the sweetest eggs west of the Colorado River, had been in the Caldwell family since Truman was president. 3 generations of sweat, not a single strip mall dream in sight. My wife Brooke was already in the kitchen, knotting her tie, badge hidden under a blazer like always. "Big week ahead, Ethan," she murmured, kissing my cheek with that half-smile that still made my knees weak after 14 years. "Stay calm, film everything, and remember, we're in this together." I didn't ask what she meant. Law enforcement wives keep secrets the way desert keeps water, buried deep. 2 months earlier, Lydia Harrington had rolled up in her white Mercedes like she was auditioning for Real Housewives of the High Desert. Platinum helmet hair, coral blazer sharp enough to cut glass, smile sweeter than antifreeze. "Mr. Caldwell, darling, have you considered what this little hobby farm could be worth to the right developer? I have connections." I'd laughed politely. "Not for sale, Lydia. Not ever." Her smile twitched like a rattler's tail. "Everything has a price, Ethan. You'll learn." Monday morning at 7 sharp she proved it. Heels clicking like gunfire on the gravel, Lydia marched up with Warren Klein, her gray-suited lapdog, trailing behind, and some kid in aviators who looked like he'd gotten his inspector certificate from a cereal box. "We're here for the mandatory safety inspection," she announced, camera already blinking on her lapel. "Community standards, you understand." I leaned on the gate, arms crossed. Arizona Statute 11-830 says pre-HOA agricultural properties are exempt from livestock and odor complaints. Ranch has been running since 1947. Your fancy subdivision was built around us, not the other way around. Lydia's nose wrinkled like I'd offered her spoiled milk. "Times change, Ethan. That smell, those roosters at dawn, they're tanking property values. Our inspector here will verify." The kid nodded like a bobblehead on caffeine. Warren just stared at his shoes, looking like he wanted to be anywhere else. I kept my voice even, phone recording in my pocket the way Brooke had drilled into me. "You're welcome to look from the road. Step 1 foot past this gate without a warrant, and we're talking trespassing. State law, not your HOA handbook." She stepped forward anyway. I raised my palm, stopped, nothing more. Lydia gasped like I'd pulled a knife, staggered back theatrically, and hit speed dial. 911. "There's a violent man at Crestview Homestead threatening me. He won't let me leave." Her cousin stood there blinking. Warren's phone shook while he filmed the exact angle that made me look like the aggressor. 15 minutes later 2 deputies rolled up, lights flashing but no sirens, clearly not their first HOA circus. Lydia was in full Oscar mode, trembling lip, tears on cue. I just held up my phone. Full unedited footage from our gate cams, officers. I never moved toward her. The older deputy sighed the sigh of a man who'd heard this song before. "Ma'am, this looks like a civil matter. False reporting carries fines." But the damage was done. By noon Lydia had spun the clip into a viral Facebook group called Safe Crestview. Comments flooded in. "That farmer's unhinged. Think of the children." My farmer's market orders dried up faster than a monsoon puddle. Old customers suddenly reassessing. The co-op that bought my eggs for 6 years left a voicemail that basically said thanks but no thanks. That night I went live from the chicken coop. "Folks, here's the full video they don't want you to see." The comments exploded, support, shared HOA horror stories, people tagging news stations. But the hate traveled faster. By morning my inbox was a war zone. Then old Mrs. Delgado, 78, lived here longer than the HOA, showed up with sweet tea and bombshells. "Lydia's been doing this for years, Ethan. She and that developer boyfriend of hers target the holdouts. Your land sits smack in the middle of the 100-acre parcel they need for their luxury spa resort. Without Crestview, the whole deal collapses." The lawsuit arrived by courier the next day, $500,000 for emotional distress and assault. Signed by none other than her brother-in-law's firm. I was staring at the papers when Warren texted from a burner. "Coffee shop off 89 tomorrow, 2 p.m. Come alone." Can't sleep with this on my conscience. I went. Warren looked like he'd aged 10 years. She had me doctor minutes, falsify complaints on 7 other ranches. It's all on this drive. Friday at 3, don't sign anything. People with badges are watching her. Real ones. Friday, 2:55 p.m. The HOA conference room smelled like burnt coffee and desperation. Lydia sat at the head like a queen, brother-in-law lawyer beside her, stack of papers ready to bury me. Sign and we'll be generous, she purred. Refuse and we'll own your ranch by Christmas. I opened my mouth to stall, then the door swung open. Brooke walked in wearing the crisp tan uniform of the Yavapai County Sheriff, badge gleaming like a spotlight. 4 deputies filed in behind her. The room went dead quiet except for Lydia's sharp inhale. Afternoon, everyone, Brooke said, voice calm as a desert morning. Sheriff Brooke Caldwell. Sorry I'm late, had to wait for the federal warrants. She slid documents across the table like she was dealing cards. Lydia Harrington, you're under arrest for conspiracy to commit extortion, wire fraud, RICO violations, and filing false police reports. Warren, you're a witness, not a suspect. Step aside. Lydia's face went the color of cheap foundation. This is harassment. I'll sue. Brooke hit play on her tablet. The audio of Lydia coaching her cousin before the 911 call filled the room. Then photos, money handoffs, falsified deeds, the 7 other families she'd broken. 18 months of surveillance, Lydia. Every email. Every kickback from Corestone Development, where you own 32%. Your community standards were just a toll booth on the road to your private resort. Warren stood. I'll testify. Every altered minute, every threat. Lydia lunged at him, heels skidding. You spineless. Cuffs clicked. As they let her out, she screamed. You set me up. Brooke's smile was ice. No, ma'am. You set yourself up the second you decided rules only applied to everyone else. 6 months later, Lydia was staring at 8 years in federal prison after her plea. Her brother-in-law got disbarred. Corestone's assets were liquidated to repay every family they'd squeezed. Warren volunteers at Legal Aid now, finally able to look his daughter in the eye. Mrs. Delgado was elected HOA president, and the first thing she did was cancel the fines and start monthly barbecues instead of inquisitions. Our ranch? Busier than ever. Folks drive from Phoenix just to buy eggs from the guy who took down the HOA Karen. Brooke still pins that badge on every morning, but now when she kisses me goodbye she whispers, "Told you we were in this together." And every sunrise I stand at the gate, coffee in hand, watching the desert wake up, thinking about the woman who tried to steal my legacy with a phone call, and the one who ended her empire with a badge. So here's the question for you, comment true or false. The real power abuser was the one hiding behind community standards and calling the cops, while the one who got hit with karma hardest was the Karen who never saw the badge coming. True or false? Drop your verdict below. Because in the West, the land remembers, and sometimes justice wears your wife's face.